Hey there, today the moon continues in Taurus, earthy sign focused on the physical and material world and our bodies. So, connecting with things that help us to open our senses and experience the beauty of the world around us. We also have Mercury retrograde in Leo. So, thinking about creativity and how we engage our creativity in the physical world and how we do that with Mercury retrograde while we are in a review process. I'm Marina Orms here with your Astro Vibe for Saturday, July 19th. Today, with that Taurus moon, we're continuing the themes of grounding and gratitude and focusing on what nourishes us and remembering that the world is a beautiful place, that there is so much to enjoy when we connect with the world through our senses, noticing how much you can actually pay attention to with your sense of smell, right? We don't focus a lot on our sense of smell, so flowers, nature, outdoors. What are some of the things that really help connect you to beauty through your sense of smell? And good food, right, can do that. Some really good fresh food and the aromatic spices and spice combinations we can bring in to help awaken our sense of smell. And then the obvious ones visually, right? And how we hear and can take in beauty like poetry, music, listening to things that really help us connect with that sense of beauty. With Mercury retrograde in Leo, Mercury is our communication. So it is how we receive and give, share, offer information. So that exchange of information and the senses are one of the ways that we gather information. So focusing on that today and also thinking about your own creative process and how with Mercury retrograde, we get that opportunity to review, to reconsider, rethink, and go back over some things we've maybe already moved forward on or made some decisions about. Why not revisit those, right? We can look at them again with new eyes and tap into what needs to change, what we've learned, what we are learning, deepening into our own awareness. So we go inward with Mercury retrograde, bringing us into that more inner experience and how we communicate with ourselves, right? That's how, what about that? What about the messages we give ourselves and the ways that we think about ourselves and the internal dialogue, right? So we want to think about our creative process, and we can think about how we use materials to be creative. So, with that Taurus moon, thinking about getting hands on. So, this is a great time to experiment with some art, some crafts. Even, if you don't think of yourself as a crafty or artsy person, maybe you like to cook, maybe you like to garden. So, what is it that helps you connect with your creative process? Um, maybe it's like the way that your home is organized or your space is organized, that can be creative. So think creatively about what creativity is, and then ask yourself, what can I look at more deeply in my creative work, in the ways that I engage with the physical world? What is there for me to notice? So maybe you have a routine that you go about every day. Maybe you have something that you cook regularly. How can you deepen into that? How can you ask yourself, why do I do it this way? Is there something else I want to add or remove or change, right? So maybe it's your recipe that you always use, and just thinking more deeply about it, like, is there something you want to try that is different? And how can that help you explore and understand your own creativity more deeply and thinking, right? So, Mercury is about thinking. And so, how we think about things and deepening into that process of how we think about them. And especially with today's Taurus moon, really thinking about how to get hands on and engage. So, engage with textures, with physical things, with food, with things you might be growing, with things, maybe engaging with your space again, changing up the artwork on the walls or the bedspread on your bed, right? Experimenting with colors, whatever that is for you, asking yourself those deeper questions about how do I create beauty in my life? How do I nourish myself? And how can I think about doing that differently in ways that might help me deepen into my own creativity, in ways that might support and nourish me at deeper levels. So, those are some of the things to think about for today. Thanks for your comments in yesterday's video about beauty and what you are grateful for. I would love to hear more of your thoughts about what brings beauty into your life. And thank you so much for being here. I am Marina Orms. You can learn more about me at astrologyheals.com. And I have a video out on evolutionary astrology. So if you're interested in taking a deeper dive, check out my member site for that video. It's in the link. The link is in the description for this video. So just click more to expand the text and you will see the link to learn more about evolutionary astrology. And so interesting. It's a unique lens into astrology that helps us see how we evolve and what our souls need. And so some of those deeper perspectives that help us understand ourselves and learn and grow and evolve. So check it out. Again, thank you so much for being here. I am here every day with astrology for unshakable self-care. I will see you next time. Bye for now.